Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of web server security and taking a comprehensive look at one of the most classic yet widely recognized tools in a penetration tester's arsenal, Nikto. If you are interested in ethical hacking, cybersecurity, or just want to understand how professionals identify weaknesses in web infrastructure, you are in exactly the right place. Before we get into the technical details, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. Everything we discuss today is strictly for educational purposes and ethical use. You should never, under any circumstances, point a vulnerability scanner at a website, server, or network that you do not own or have explicit, documented permission to test. Unauthorized scanning is illegal and unethical. With that important disclaimer out of the way, let us explore what Nikto is, how it functions, and how security professionals use it to secure digital environments. Nikto is a renowned open-source web server scanner. Think of it as an automated inspector that visits a web server and checks it against a massive database of known vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, and outdated software. When a system administrator sets up a web server, there are countless small configurations to manage. Sometimes default files are left behind, server software is not updated to the latest patch, or insecure configurations are inadvertently applied. Nikto is designed to hunt down these exact issues. It performs comprehensive tests against web servers for multiple items, including over 6,700 potentially dangerous files or programs. It also checks for outdated versions of over 1,200 servers and version-specific problems on over 270 servers. It is important to note that Nikto is a highly noisy tool, meaning it leaves a massive footprint in the server's access and error logs. It is not designed for stealth operations or red teaming where evasion is key. Rather, it is designed for speed, transparency, and thoroughness. Security teams use it during vulnerability assessments to get a quick, broad overview of a server's security posture before diving into more complex manual testing procedures. Now, I want to shift gears significantly and talk about a crucial phase that often runs parallel to automated scanning, and that is reconnaissance and information gathering. Specifically, I want to walk you through an example of my username search methodology that I utilize during the initial phases of an ethical engagement. This phase is absolutely critical because while automated tools like Nikto find infrastructure flaws, human-led reconnaissance finds logic flaws and critical access points. When I begin a username search, my primary goal is to map out the digital footprint of the target organization to understand who works there, what their roles are, and what their internal naming conventions might be. I always start with passive reconnaissance, relying heavily on open-source intelligence, commonly referred to as OSINT. This means I'm not interacting directly with the target servers yet, keeping my footprint invisible. I scour professional networking platforms to gather a comprehensive list of employees, paying close attention to IT staff, system administrators, and developers. By looking at the employee names, I try to deduce the company's email and username format. For instance, I asked myself, is the standard format first name, last name, first initial followed by last name, or something else entirely? Once I have a solid hypothesis about the username format, I move to search engines. I use advanced search operators to comb through public documents associated with the target domain. I look for exposed PDF files, Word documents, or spreadsheets that might be hosted on public-facing servers. Often, the metadata of these documents contains the exact usernames of the people who created or edited them. This provides definitive, undeniable proof of the internal username structure. Furthermore, I search for the company's domain on developer platforms. Developers sometimes accidentally commit code that contains hard-coded credentials, developer comments with usernames, or configuration files that reveal internal domain structures. Another critical avenue is checking public breach databases. I want to see if employees of the target company have been involved in past third-party data breaches. This not only confirms their corporate email addresses, but also gives me a sense of their password hygiene. As I compile this extensive list of potential usernames, I'm building a valuable asset for later stages of the assessment. If the scope of my ethical engagement permits active testing, I might then take this list of generated usernames and attempt to enumerate them against the target's login portals. This could involve trying to log into a webmail portal, a virtual private network gateway, or a customer relationship management system. I carefully monitor the server's responses. Sometimes an application will return a message saying, "Invalid password," if the username actually exists in the database, but will return "invalid username" if it does not. This subtle difference in application response allows me to confirm exactly which usernames are valid on the system without ever needing a valid password. This entire process, from passive OSINT gathering to active enumeration, is a meticulous and time-consuming task, but it is deeply rewarding and often leads to the most critical findings in a security assessment. Now, let us bring our focus back to automated vulnerability scanning and look at how we actually initiate a NICTO scan. As a reminder, we are not performing a live practical demonstration today, but rather discussing the mechanics, the commands, and the expected outcomes conceptually. For our example today, we'll use a specific, highly recognized target. This target is https://testphp.vulnweb.com. This is an intentionally vulnerable web application hosted specifically for security professionals and enthusiasts to test their tools and practice their methodology. It's the perfect sandbox environment because it's purposefully designed to be scanned, probed, and broken in a safe, controlled manner. To run a basic scan against this target, you would open your terminal interface and type the exact command nicto-h https://testphp.vulnweb.com. The syntax of this command is incredibly straightforward and user-friendly. You call the tool by typing nicto, then you provide the -h flag, which stands for host, and finally you supply the target URL. When you execute this command, NICTO immediately springs into action. It starts sending thousands of HTTP requests to the target server, rapidly probing for those thousands of potential vulnerabilities we discussed earlier. In a real-world scenario, you'd see text scrolling rapidly across your terminal screen. It begins by identifying the server type and version, perhaps indicating an outdated web server daemon. Then it starts listing its findings line by line. On a purposefully vulnerable site, NICTO would likely light up with alerts. It might report that certain administrative directories are openly indexable, meaning anyone can view the files inside them. It will flag missing security headers, identify outdated scripts, and might even find exposed environment pages, which leak sensitive server variables. However, one of the most critical aspects of using NICTO effectively is understanding how to interpret its output. NICTO is notoriously known for generating false positives. Because it relies heavily on checking for the presence of specific file names or directories, it sometimes assumes a vulnerability exists just because the file name matches its internal database, even if the file itself is secure or is just a custom script with a coincidental name. Therefore, a security professional's job is not just to run the tool, but to manually verify every single finding. You must filter the automated noise from the actual exploitable threats. While NICTO is a fantastic starting point for reconnaissance and initial vulnerability identification, it should never be the only tool you rely on. It won't find complex business logic flaws or sophisticated vulnerabilities that require a deep understanding of the application's unique context. In conclusion, NICTO remains a staple in the cybersecurity community because it's fast, free, and incredibly effective at finding low-hanging fruit and common risk configurations. When used ethically and responsibly against authorized targets like our sandbox example, it provides invaluable baseline insights into the security posture of web infrastructure. Remember the meticulous username search methodology we discussed. Automated tools provide the baseline, that human analysis provides the context and depth that is required for true security assurance. Always verify your findings, Always ensure you have explicit permission before scanning and continue to learn. Thank you for joining me in this overview. Stay safe, stay ethical, and I'll see you in the next one.